Before I begin this lesson, I want to start off by giving all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachakwadash. Double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught us this truth. A sincere shalom to the hopeful like this out there, listening, learning, and or teaching in truth and sincerity. Shalom. All right, so I pulled up this article here. It says Iran will be waking up sleeper agents across the West. Says former Israeli general, and this was published March 1st, 2026, which was yesterday at 3:08 p.m. Okay, so pretty recent. Okay, now I know brothers have been posting mad updates, man, to the point where I haven't really been able to catch up with everything. And there's been going this back and forth war with U.S., Israel, and Iran, and they're striking different places in Iran. Iran is striking different American military bases, so on and so forth. And through the spirit, the topic of sleeper cells I come across, I came across it earlier and I thought about it. I remember speaking on this in the past, man, but now, all right, it's evident that it is imminent. Okay, it is evident that it is imminent. Okay, and it's gonna happen, man. Okay, it says the Iranian regime will be waking up sleeper agents in the West to avenge the death of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, an ex-intelligence chief in the Israeli army has warned. Brig General Res Yassi Cooperwasser said dormant pro-regime forces could carry out terror attacks to destabilize the U.S. and its supporters. It comes as one of Iran's most senior Grand Ayatollahs declared it a religious obligation for all Muslims to avenge the death of the country's supreme leader. So you see, these people, they're going back to their wild nature, man, as the scriptures say. Okay, what does the scripture say about the so-called Arabs? Okay, where it talks about them being a wild, man. Let's get that precept real quick. Genesis 16 and 12, and we're gonna start up. We're gonna read. Verse 11. It says, "The angel of Yahweh said unto her, Behold, thou art with child, and shalt bear a son, and shalt call his name Ishmael, because Yahweh hath heard thy affliction." Right? Ishmael being the progenitor of the so-called Arabs, right? The Iranians, all these different Arab countries over there, they're all the same people. They are Ishmaelites. Okay, Genesis 16 and 12, and he will be a wild man. His hand will be against every man, and every man's hand against him, and he shall dwell in the presence of his brethren. Right? So the point being that he is a wild man. Okay, and these people over there are the experts at guerrilla warfare, destabilizing country through terror. Okay, they're ready to get dirty. They're ready to get their hands dirty, go underground, be among you, and then boom, something could happen. Literally boom, right? Bombs, all type of things they got planned, man, for you people out here, man. You proud Babylonians. This is the judgment of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. And it's getting ready to come, man. They're already drafting certain individuals to go, die for Netanyahu and Trump and, ultimately the elite. Okay, which is the judgment of the Lord, man. You Israelites that didn't want to obey or the scriptures or take heed to our warnings, okay, you're going to end up in this meat grinder, man. Okay, and if it's not one thing, it's another. You might end up in the hands of ICE. You might end up starving, right? You might end up in any one of the mass casualty events that are coming, any one of these calamities that are coming, because calamities and bad times and evils are coming to the earth, man. And it's only going to get worse and worse and worse before it gets even worse, because it's the end of the world, man. Okay, this is the end. We're at the end of this man Esau Edom. the so-called white man's rulership. And, we know the scriptures say that the devil's going to come down unto you having great wrath, knowing that he has but a short time. So we've seen ICE agents, we've seen these draconian measures. What do you people think is going to happen if these sleeper cells just go fucking crazy, man, and just start offing people, law enforcement, setting buildings on fire? This devil will have the perfect excuse to mandate martial law, man. Just like what happened with 9/11, which was ultimately orchestrated, by the government. Still, they were able to call it and not call martial law, but what they did was they increased a lot of security in airports. They took a lot of you people's freedoms away. They started going a lot more digital. This system started going to shit as soon as that happened, right? So, they're definitely going to use this as an excuse, whether they stage a false flag, sleeper cell attack, or T-error attack, or whether it be organic. Either way, the outcome is going to be the same, man. More chaos, more draconian measures, more people being put to death. One step closer to the MOTB being mandated, man. You see? It says Iran's foreign ministry also vowed that repercussions for Ali Khamenei's assassination will extend to the world. Oh, shit. See, what does that mean? All right. Is he going to attack other countries? Maybe he'll attack America's allies. Who knows? It says the 86-year-old dictator was found dead in the rubble following an airstrike on his compound on Saturday. Cooper Wasser, a former head of the research division at the Israel Defense Forces Intelligence Corps, said the Iranian regime has supporters around the world. Okay. There you go. So, a lot of things can come of this, man. All right. And as we see, it's spicing up and it's heating up and it's getting worse. It says these cells are around the globe for such an eventuality, and they are probably working to wake them up now, right? All those Arab migrants, so-called, they came across the border during Biden's administration, right? And now they already have ICE out there. Hey, that's the perfect setup. Sleeper cell attack. Then they use the ICE to, bring about more draconian measure, give them more rights and take ours away. Next thing you know, you people are gonna be backed up into a corner, you Americans, man. Okay. Now, it very well may be an organic sleeper cell attack, and that's going to be bad, too, for you Americans, man. But it's great for prophecy, man. It means we're getting closer to the end of this rulership, man. And call all Yahweh Shemel Shai for that. It says, these attacks and other steps will be aimed at destabilizing and charging a price for those who were responsible for what happened to Khamenei. Hey, good. Let it happen, man. The faster this bitch falls economically, the better, man. And we know during war the economy goes to shit. So that's perfect, man, because hey, this thing's already on the way out. Now they have an excuse to crash that dollar, man. So hey, all roads lead to the MOTB being mandated, man. But a lot of you people, this is gonna be your end, man. This is gonna be where your life ends. You're gonna be sent to that meat grinder. You might fall victim to these sleeper cell attacks. You might be falsely accused, whatever. All right? And that's all I'm going to go into right now. I want to grab a scripture. All right? And actually, before we get into that one, I want to go into 2nd Ezra 15:28. It says, behold, a horrible vision, and the appearance thereof from the east, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth, that all which hear them may fear and tremble, right? And we're starting to see this, man. So all these Arab nations, they're going to come together with Iran, man. And it's going to be a very intimidating army. So, America being the most powerful right now, but at the same time, Iran is going to leave a mark. And it's going to fuck up a portion of America, man. Which verse 30 goes into. It says, also the Carmanians, which are the Iranians, raging in wrath shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. Meaning, when it's all said and done, man, through their nuclear arsenal, they're going to take out part of this country, America, man. All right? And we know that Russia, North Korea, China, even America's own allies are going to take out the rest of this whore, America, man. Ultimately, as the scriptures say, it's going to be destroyed forever. The Iranians are going to play a part. Verse 31, and then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature. We just read it earlier, right? He is a wild man. And if they shall turn themselves conspiring together in great power to persecute them, then these shall be troubled and keep silence through their power and shall flee, right? Whoever comes up against them is going to have to flee or run around them. They're not going to want to face this army, man. Right? There's a lot of ground troops over there. And again, it's going to be a meat grinder over there in the Middle East, man. A lot of you Americans, you Babylonians, going to get drafted, men and women. Men and women, man. All right, that's why Isaiah 4:1 comes in, because the scriptures say there's going to be so few men left. Okay, the virgins will mourn having no helpers, man. So yeah, you're going to have 7 women to 1 man. You're going to have all type of women busting down your doors, brethren. Because Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is going to have a hedge of protection around us. So these women are going to see that we're eating, that we're doing well. All the other men are either put to death or destroyed or starving. These women are going to have to get their ass in line and in order. And all that feminism nonsense is going to go out the window, man. These things are all going to be happening at once here. Okay, very soon we're going to see a lot of prophecy just flying off the pages, man. And it's only going to increase our faith as these evils increase, man. Yeah, we'll be tried. But since we have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, it should only strengthen us more, man. We expect these things to happen. We don't run away from it. We don't turn the screen on. Oh, that's negative. Let me drink a beer and watch the game and go to work like a good little slave. It's like, nah, fuck this shit, man. We're ready for this bitch to go down, man. Unless you people want to see you Jakes, you're comfortable here, man. Now, this is why you need to watch videos like this, because it's going to make you uncomfortable and realize, okay, you can live a lie, or you could come back to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, come back to your heritage and receive salvation. Okay? Or you could keep living for Esau, man. Why you obsessing over a job when this shit's getting ready to be destroyed, man? Your fucking job is not going to ever exist for the rest of eternity, man. Very soon. So you're building a house on quicksand here in America, man. You Jakes out there building here, talking about your bag, your business. You're wasting your motherfucking time, man. Your business going to go up in fire with all these damn devils out here, man. These Edomites. It says, then these shall be troubled and keep silence through their power and shall flee. And from the land of the Assyrians shall the enemy besiege them and consume some of them. Right, from here in Assyria, which Assyria is spiritually talking about America. So these Iranians are going to come over here, which they already have. And their sleeper cells or their agents or whoever they send is going to cause terroristic events to happen. And it's going to cause a lot of death over here. So they're going to invade this land, man. And there's going to be war here on the soil of America. Right? It says, and in their host shall be fear and dread and strife among their kings. Right? These leadership, Trump and all them, they're going to be wondering what the hell they're going to do to respond, man. Because at the end of the day, how are they going to respond when these people have infiltrated here, man? They're hiding. They're over here in hiding, man. And see, these so-called white people were too busy attacking so-called Mexicans. Okay. When it's the so-called Arabs they should have been worried about. But see, that's what happens. That's the Lord's judgment. And, that the so-called Arabs and the so-called white man are together against our people. And so now the Lord is going to throw a lot of these so-called white young men and white young women and so-called young Arabs, and they're all going to be torn up in these meat grinders, man. World War III is going to be a hell of a meat grinder, man. And good. Call all Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, man. That's the Lord's judgment against what they did to Israel, man. That's why the Lord said, let's get this real quick. It says, wait upon until I rise to the prey. We're gonna interpret this according to the scriptures. You know, what does it mean? You know, we had there was some stupid Edomite on my comment board trying to misinterpret this. Nah, we're gonna explain what this means, man. Zephaniah 3:7. I said, surely. It's like that's not it. It's like it, brethren. It's been a long day. Okay, maybe it was that one. Zephaniah 3:8. Therefore wait ye upon me, saith Yahweh, until the day that I rise up to the prey, for my determination is to gather the nations. Right, the Lord rising to the prey is represents Yahweh Bashim Shai coming up against the Edomites, coming up against his different heathens like the so-called Arabs. Right, all these heathens are rich off of our backs, man. Okay, but the Lord is gonna rise up against them through the World War III. It says, for my determination is to gather the nations, right? All these heathens, that I may assemble the kingdoms to pour upon them mine indignation, right? The Lord's righteous anger is going to be poured upon these heathens. Even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. We know eventually World War III will end in the thermonuclear destruction of America, many other places being hit as well. Okay. A lot of death, okay, but it starts with that meat grinder. All right, getting back into it over here in 2nd Ezra 15:34. Behold, clouds from the east and from the north. Okay, so you know, I want to grab a quick preset, man, because real quick, man, with these sleeper cell agents, the scriptures also talks about it in Jeremiah 51:12. Set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon, being America. Make the watch strong, set up the watchmen, prepare the ambushes, for Yahweh hath both devised and done that which he spake against the inhabitants of Babylon. O thou that dwellest upon many waters, abundant in treasures, thy end is come, in the measure of thy covetousness, right? That insatiable greed America has, sending their army to go steal oil and resources and you know, continue to oppress Jake to this day. You know, slavery, the transatlantic slave trade. You know, that's the so-called white man's thing, man, and he's gonna be punished. Okay, his greed ends here, man. He's gonna be destroyed. It says, Yahweh of hosts has sworn by himself, saying, surely I will fill thee with men as with caterpillars, and they shall lift up a shout against thee, man. To fill someone with men as with a caterpillar, man. Caterpillars. Let's look up this thing about caterpillars, man. Okay. It says caterpillars are voracious eaters that can consume up to 27,000 times their body weight in plant matter during their roughly few week larval stage, man. Okay, so that's what's gonna happen, man. These sleeper cells are gonna come in here like caterpillars, man. And they're gonna hurt and kill and destroy thousands and thousands of you Babylonians, man. All right, just like a caterpillar would, man. Okay, this is spiritual. It's making the reference of this animal who eats a lot, 27,000 times its own weight in a few weeks. You know, hey, one sleeper cell killing thousands and thousands of Babylonians. Who knows, bro? However it's going to happen, it's going to happen a similar way to how caterpillars eat. Okay, so the Lord will fill this place with men as with caterpillars, and he has done that. We already saw it during the Biden administration, man. Hey, man's goings are of the Lord, man. The Lord is controlling these politicians, these Edomites. You know, even the Rothschilds are controlled, man. Ultimately, they're going to fail this chess move. They think they're going to defeat the Lord, but not knowing that their power that they get from the left-hand side through Satan, the spiritual demon Satan, is also controlled by Yahweh Bashim Shai. So ultimately, the Lord is in control of this movie, man. All right. It says, behold, clouds from the east and from the north unto the south, And they are very horrible to look upon, full of wrath and storm, right? These armies are going to be terrifying. It says, they shall smite one upon another, and they shall smite down a great multitude of stars upon the earth, even their own star, and blood shall be from the sword unto the belly, right? Going on to all these missiles they're going to be shooting. You know, right now they're just shooting the regular missiles, but eventually it's going to be thermonuclear missiles. Verse 36, and dung of men unto the camel's hoof, right? Basically, it's going to be a lot of dead bodies out here. So this is the beginning of the end for America, man. You know, this is the beginning of the end. I mean, it was already declining, but now it's gotten to another point, to another level, man. There will be no peace. There will be no peace. All right? But with that, I want to finish by giving all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachat Wadash, double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught us this truth. A sincere shalom to the hopeful like this out there, listening, learning, and or teaching in truth and sincerity. Shalom wa, Abba Ball.